Once again, it's a beautiful morning and you're welcome to the AM show. It's now time for us to do the news. In our very first story, the national chairman of the NDC, Aseidu Nketia, has waded into the 214 million losses incurred by the Bank of Ghana under the Gold for Reserves program. According to him, the politicization of the losses sparks of desperate attempts to smear the government with fabricated scandals. Kwame Yanka has more from the 44th commemoration of the 31st December Revolution in Ada.
The 34th anniversary commemoration of the 31st December 1981 revolution at Adan unfolded in two main parts. The first segment featured lighting of the perpetual flame, symbolizing reverence for fallen heroes, fidelity to the founding principles of the revolution, and the enduring resilience of its ideals. This was followed by laying of wreaths in honor of those who sacrificed their lives for the revolutionary cause. Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman laid the first wreath on behalf of the people of Ghana, followed by representatives of security services, cadres, traditional authorities, market women, fishers, among other groups. The Member of Parliament for Korle Klottey, Dr. Zaneto Agyeman Rawlings, also laid the wreath in honor of the central figure of the 31st December Revolution, the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, who was also the founder of the National Democratic Congress. The second part of the event featured speeches reflecting on the legacy of the revolution and Ghana's current socio-political landscape. In his address, NDC National Chairman Aseidu Nketia criticized the New Patriotic Party over deliberate attempt to taint the government with scandals, including the $240 million loss. The government is earning widespread commendation for its clean record, having so far avoided any major scandal in its first year. This has clearly unsettled the opposition, who appear determined to manufacture controversy at all costs. President John Mahama, Bank of Ghana Governor Johnson Isiama, and Gold Board CEO Sami Gyamfi have implemented practical solutions to challenges that the NPP administration under Nana Akufo-Addo struggled with throughout its 8 years in office. Dr. Zaneto Agyeman Rawlings, in her remarks, urged the party to guard against decisions and actions that undermine the core values and principles of the 31st December Revolution.
The responsibility on government is so huge to provide an enabling environment, one that is not drowning in corruption or nepotism or ethnicity or marginalization of members of this country. This country can only survive if we do it together, with dignity, with respect for one another, exhibiting those timeless principles of integrity, of transparency, of accountability, of probity. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are to leave Ghana better than we found it, we have a duty to stick to those principles.
Meanwhile, Vice President Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman emphasized that the principles which shaped both Ghana's past and the ideological foundation of the NDC must continue to guide governance and national development.
And I'm using this to let us all know that there's so much we have survived. And we have survived that based on certain principles. And those principles still persist and they are still valid. Those principles have shaped our history as we have come along, including what we are celebrating today. The very important fact of holding ourselves together, of saying no to the wrong things and forging ahead with the values that matter. There was one thing that also used to occupy J.J. Rawlings, and that was the people whose names may have perished, but who were part of the forward march. He never forgot.
Other speakers highlighted issues aimed at strengthening the party and advancing national progress. This year's commemoration was on the theme Consolidating the Reset Agenda, Reflections on the Gains of the 31st December Revolution. Kwame Yankesh reports for Joy News.